Last workout today. Once we finish today, we'll pack up and get out of here tomorrow and head out for Austin. So it'll be a good test for us. Again, no matter what sport you're in, playing against yourself for as long as we have, it's going to be good now to get out and play against somebody else. So it'll be good for our freshmen, especially the guys that are going to be playing early as freshmen, to be able to play in a tough venue against a tough team. So that's going to help us there. We're pretty healthy right now, which is a good thing. So if we get through today's last inter squad, we'll be good to go. So there's not really a whole lot to say, except we're excited that we're getting ready to get going. Just like when Major League Baseball starts spring training, they're glad to get out of spring training and get going. So we're a couple days from being able to do that. So I'll open up the floor for questions you might have.
Position-wise, just what do you feel like you probably have solidified, and what are your decisions still making?
Well, again, shortstop's going to be Cantrell opening day, and then Castles will be at second. First base, we're probably Stover. Third base, probably Fontenot opening day because he gives us some age right there. But Fontenot's going to move around a little bit, like we said. Wyndham and Lockridge, we want to get them playing time throughout this because I think both those guys are going to help us. The DH role is going to be 2 to 3 guys that we can plug in according to right and left and what the matchups will be. But I think you'll see guys like Spears and Mole potentially DH. And then in the outfield, we'll probably start with Lott probably out in left field. Center field probably be LaHare or Bourgeois once we get there. That's a righty-left situation. And the other guy can move over to right field if we need to. So we still have a few things to kind of work out according to if we want a platoon situation or if we check the matchup. And outside of that, we want to get a couple more guys in. Pitching wise, we know who our starters are. We want to try to build some middle relief and a bullpen. I think Austin Perrin and Batty and Brett Williams, I think you'll see Stokey throw also. Grant Cox, those guys are going to try to come out of the pen for us and see what we want to do there. Schmitty will be in the pen with us this weekend, and then we'll move him out to potentially start in the middle of the week against Southeastern.
Sticking with your middle relief, do you have an order that you may be thinking of? Is it matchup?
It'll probably be matchup. 3 of the guys are left and 2 are right, so that's 5 guys. So it'll probably be more or less matchup because we have more lefties this year than we have in the past.
You've discussed a lot of positional situations already, but do you expect with such a young team that there'll be a lot of experimenting early in the season, or do you have an idea how you guys will play from here out? Well,
I think we know we want or expect out of some of the older guys. I think what we need to do is get some of the younger guys in there and then see how everything meshes out. We've got 56 games. You want to try to get through opening day or those first couple weekends and try to see all that you want to see. We've seen a lot throughout the fall, but a lot of times the fall, some things change once you get into real games. So we will be moving some guys around, playing some people throughout the weekend, especially the first 2 weekends. And then as we get closer to the conference, hopefully things will start to solidify itself out.
Tony, following up on your statement about the 3 left-handers in the bullpen, how alike are they and how different are they in their repertoire and what they throw and what they like to do?
There's a little bit of differences between them. Austin is fastball, changeup, and curveball, but he's got some good sink and some good run on his 2-seam with the very good changeup. And a good breaking ball. It's a little different from Batty's breaking ball. Batty's has a little bit more attack in him in the sense of a little bit more velo. and maybe a harder breaking ball. And then, you know, Cox has more of a slider than a curveball. So all three of them are kind of different in a way. So they're not exactly the same. I think Batty and Perrin and even Grant could start a game if they had to, because Grant was starting in junior college. But I think they'll be able to move into the bullpen for us and not be just come in and get two lefties out. I think they can come in and throw, you know, a good 3 to 6 outs, maybe sometimes, you know, 9 outs. So I think they're going to be good guys to bridge for us. And then what I like, Stokey's different from Armstrong. You know, Armstrong's underneath, and then Demo, of course, has his own style that's a little different. It's not traditional. So I think that'll work itself out to be good for us, because we can change some eye levels back to left, right, underneath, and with Demo too towards the back end of the game. I think they're going to gain their experience this weekend because pitch counts and everything. You know, guys will probably be on the 75 pitch count, somewhere in there. So these guys will get in and get some work in. And I think what you have to do with freshmen are inexperienced arms. An inexperienced position player can be covered up sometimes with 7 or 8 older guys, but a freshman pitcher, there's no place for him to be covered up at. So I think those guys need to come in and get 3 to 6 outs, try to build on their confidence. You know, at one time, Gunner was a freshman and Marks was a freshman, and Giller was a freshman, and those guys, they're all freshmen have their struggles, you know. But I think if you give them a limited amount of work and not try to make one of them a starter right off the bat, I think that's the biggest challenge I've ever had as a coach, pitching coach, is developing freshman starting pitchers. Those are the ones that are most difficult. And right now, if we stay healthy, I think what's good is we can keep these guys in shorter stints, which hopefully will help their development curve.
You talk about how the difference between Handsome this year and Handsome last year, and then you might actually have, you know, second catcher.
Yeah, Cole's a good one. He did have an injury in the fall, but that kept him out of the fall a lot. But he's got all his reps. He's getting caught back up again. He is 100% healthy, so that's going to help us because we'll have 2 rock-solid guys back there. They both throw very well. You know, they both catch very well. Handsome's just, I don't know, I think he took, you know, a tough year. And on the other hand, I've seen it happen many a times with JC guys. You know, Sinsley struggled his first year here. I mean, guys can struggle sometimes and back up a little bit when they come into the Division I game out of the JC or the high school. So I think he took all that information and he came back really, really in good shape and with a good mindset of being able to build on, I think, last year's struggles. And so he's our most improved player out of everybody out there this year. Handsome's our most improved player as a hitter and as a catcher and as a leader.
Why Burke, Lee, Harris in that order?
Well, big thing we want to do is put probably our best strike thrower out there at first because they're limited on 75 pitches. The other 2 guys have big arms, but sometimes their pitch counts can go up quick. And when that happens, that's going to induce, you know, the bullpen a little sooner. So what we're trying to do is try to get the best strike thrower in there right now. Plus, we also wanted to give Hogan a little bit more time because the little procedure he had in the fall, we want to make sure he is 100%, but it gives him more time where he was worked up in his cycles. He threw an inter squad the other day that we really needed him to throw in and really threw well. And then you count back 5 days, that put him on Sunday. If you'd have wanted him on Friday, you'd had to cut one outing away from him. So really the order is lining up according to what the weather and everything else did to us coming in their 4-day cycles, because those guys are on different cycles when they pitch. So really Jack's a strike thrower. I'm not real big on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got a belief amongst the pitching staff. We tell them all the time our best pitcher is the guy that's going out that night. I know people get hooked up in the, you know, Friday night arms and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I think Jack, it's not a surprise for us internally. I mean, Jack's been throwing really, really well. The other 2 guys have been throwing well too. It's just where their cycles ran us up to. We had 4 or 5 days of frigid temperatures that those guys could not throw in. So it backed them up a little bit. So the way they come back out, this is the best route for us right now. Will we stay that way? Who knows? You know, that's kind of up to them and how things play out. But at this point in time, Jack gives us, you know, a good strike throwing. Hopefully he can take his 75 pitches and use them, you know, and get us some depth in the game and maybe not have to use the bullpen, you know, so early on a Friday night.
How have you coached him up on fielding comebackers?
Oh, he's good. He's good. He caught the last one barehanded at LSU, so he's good. Not many guys can catch a 90-mile-an-hour ground ball barehanded, but we'd hope he'd let the next one go, though. If that had anything to do with his injury, we don't know. But he's 100%. He's been throwing really well out there and talking to the hitters. You know, he's got some really good stuff right now, and so I feel real good about our starting pitching, and I like the guys coming out of the pen. I think they're going to be good. I just think they're the ones that are going to need some experience.
It's only every year that we talk about how unimportant preseason polls are. That being said, if you guys go out and have a really good weekend at Texas, how much momentum will be gained from that?
Well, I mean, again, you know, the big thing is those are nice, but you know, they don't mean anything. If you could guarantee me that's where I would be at the end of the year, I would trust them, but it's not. So we don't really look at that. The one thing we do look, though, is the back end of your statement, that being able to have a good weekend against a very good team and to continue to protect our RPI, because the schedule's set up to have a good strength of schedule and a good RPI, but you also have to go out and win games. So we're definitely going down there to win. We're not really going down there to win to be ranked, but we're going down there to win. We're going down there to play well and play in a tougher environment than we've been in practicing here. So, you know, if we can stay ranked or whatever, then that means we're doing good. I'll take that. But you don't have to, you know, be ranked number one to be number one. So because of that, we don't really pay attention to that much.
Coach, what are you most looking forward to this weekend from your team, seeing from your team this weekend?
Well, again, just being able to go out and compete. I mean, that's what we're going down there to do. You've been worried a lot about mechanics along the way and my swing and, you know, the development and all this stuff. And then now you finally get a chance to get the arena and compete. So that's really what we're going down there to do, is to compete, to throw down. That's what you want to see, to get after it. Whatever happens, happens. You can't protect that. You can't pick and choose the games you're going to win or lose in this business. You win a third and lose a third. You can't pick the ones you're going to lose. What you've got to do is not be able to let the ones you do lose affect you. Put you in tailspins, put you in long losing streaks. I mean, that's what this game can do to you. You were probably going to lose the game you lost anyway. The difference is you have a chance to respond off the game you lose, and that's what we also want to see if we happen to drop a game, is, you know, our ability to respond, the ability to come back, because that's truly who's left standing at the end of the year. It's not the teams that are undefeated, because in baseball that's a hard thing to do, but it's the people that can come back from losing. Those are the best teams, and so that's what we also have to learn how to do if we happen to get dumped a game, is to be able to let that go, get back in the fight, re-engage, and get going again, because it's going to be a long season. I mean, it's 56 games and a very tough schedule. This is a schedule that's not going to let up on you. It's not going to feel sorry for you, so you're going to have to, you know, sew yourself up when you get cut and get back out there. So that's what we want to go do. We want to get out there, get our starters to hopefully get us off to good starts and build some confidence in them, try to get that bullpen some experience, get some of these younger guys out there in a different venue now, and just try to get weathered as much as we can. And I think this is a good series to get weathered in.
What's something you're telling these younger guys going into this game?
The big thing is in any game, any sport, you want your younger guys, what we call hurry up and slow down, if that makes any sense. But we need them to slow down, play the game slow. The biggest trouble, fear, apprehension, anxiety, all that causes them to speed up. And when you speed up in this game, it's bad. It's not good. It's like a basketball player running down the court out of control. I mean, it's going to lead to turnovers. And so what you want to do is you want to get these guys to play slow and then to hopefully play old, but yet they're young. So that's the challenge. When you look at these rookie quarterbacks or these rookies in any sport, once they get up and jump a level, the level can be difficult on them. I mean, there's a basketball player in the NBA right now that they say lost his jump shot, so they're trying to do all kind of stuff. It's probably going to mental from physical and putting reality goggles on him and all kind of stuff. And so things change. The sport doesn't change, like they didn't change the basketball goal on him or anything, but the surroundings have changed. And that's the challenge for us going there this weekend. Is they're comfortable here now. They've been in here since August, but now what's going to happen is there's going to be change, and the bases aren't going to change, or the length of the game doesn't change. It's what they're surrounded by, and then it'll change again at Southeastern. It's going to change again at Minute Maid. So that's what they got to learn how to do, is how to be able to adapt to the change that's going to happen around them.